I still hear her crying at night. The girl with the burnt hands. She appears at the edge of my dreams, her eyes wide and wet, her arms stretched toward me. I hear her voice clearly, even now. You left me there. You saw me. But I didn't see her. Obinna did. And that's how this story starts, with a boy everyone feared, but only he could see the ones we couldn't. In August 2014, I was 18 and had just finished secondary school in the city. My mom sent me to the village to spend the holidays with my auntie and her husband in a place called Amore, a quiet Igbo village, clean, green, and filled with warm people. Everything was peaceful there, too peaceful, actually. No generator sounds, no loud traffic, just roosters, old men playing drafts, and women pounding yam under mango trees. But every village has that one strange child. In Amori, it was Obinna, the boy that lived with his old grandma near the thick shrine forest. People whispered he had eyes that bring bad luck. They said he could see dead people walking among us. His parents died in a house fire when he was 6, and since then, strange things started happening around him. Chickens dying for no reason, pots cracking without heat, people waking up with nosebleeds after seeing him in their dreams. So the villagers kept away from him. He was always alone. The first time I saw him, he was walking along the narrow path behind my auntie's house. His eyes were sunken, his lips dark like kola nut. He didn't look evil, he just looked tired. He nodded at me. I didn't nod back. That night, I had a dream. I saw myself standing in the village square, surrounded by trees with faces. I couldn't move. Then I saw Obinna standing beside me, holding a mirror. When I looked into the mirror, my face was covered in black ash, and behind me stood a crying girl with no hands. I woke up with sweat running down my back. I wanted to forget it, but the next morning I saw Obinna again, waiting under a mango tree near our compound. He said something I'll never forget. She's calling you, the girl from the mirror. If you go to the old shrine today, you'll see her. I didn't know what to say. I didn't even know there was an old shrine. That evening, curiosity dragged me down the path behind the village toward the part people warned us never to enter. The shrine was broken, half covered in thick vines. The air there was colder, no birds, no insects, just silence. And then I heard it, weeping. I turned and saw her, exactly like my dream. A girl, maybe 8 or 9, skin dark like roasted plantain. Her arms ended in burnt stumps. She didn't speak. She just looked at me and pointed toward the ground. I couldn't scream. I couldn't run. I just froze. Obinna stepped beside me. I didn't even hear him approach. He bent down and began speaking in Igbo, deep Igbo. Not the kind they teach in school, more like the way old men talk during masquerade season. I only caught a few words: forgive, truth, peace. He touched the ground where she pointed and said, "She's here." Then he told me what happened. Her name was Adeize. She had died 3 years before in a fire. But not just any fire, the fire at the old shrine, where someone had taken her to perform a sacrifice. They thought no one would find out. They left her there to burn, but her spirit stayed behind. Obinna told me the ground still held her bones. That's why her spirit never left. I thought he was mad, until he dug the spot with his bare hands, and bone pieces, small like a child's, started to appear. I ran all the way home. After that, I avoided Obinna for days. I told my auntie everything. She said to forget it. That boy is cursed, she said. But that same week, things got worse in the village. A pregnant woman collapsed during evening prayers. A baby went missing for 3 hours, then was found crying under a palm tree no one ever goes near. 3 goats disappeared. People panicked. The elders said a dark spirit had been disturbed. Only one person was brave enough to speak during the village meeting. Obinna. He stood, barefoot, wearing his usual oversized shirt, and said, Adaeze wants her story told. Her soul cannot rest, because the one who killed her is here, among us. Gasps filled the air. Then he pointed straight at the head catechist, Papa Nana. Nobody wanted to believe it. Papa Nana was loved, always led prayers, gave food to beggars. But Obinna was calm. She was your maid. You took her to the shrine because your wife couldn't give you a child. You thought no one saw, but she saw, and now we all do. Papa Nana shouted, denied it, cursed Obinna, but something strange happened right there. His wrapper caught fire. No one had matches, no one had fire nearby, but it burned fast and hot. He screamed and rolled on the ground. They used sand to put it out. He survived, but his leg was burnt badly. Till today he limps. 2 weeks later, he disappeared from the village. That same night, I dreamt again. This time, Adaeze smiled. They later gave her a proper burial. The bones were collected and put in a small box. Prayers were done. A white cloth was tied on the tree near the shrine. People now avoid that place completely. Obinna didn't change, still quiet, still alone. But now, people leave food at his doorstep. When someone falls sick in a strange way, they go to him first, not the herbalist, not the priest. I left the village at the end of that year, but I still remember his words to me before I left. They don't want to be feared. Most ghosts just want peace, but peace needs truth, and truth needs someone to see. I didn't understand back then, but now I do, because every time I lie to myself, every time I ignore a warning, I see her again. Adaeze, burnt arms, wet eyes, asking the same thing. Why did it take so long? If you think this is just a story, good for you. But if you ever find yourself in Amori village, don't laugh when they tell you about the boy behind the shrine. He's still there, still seeing, still listening. It's funny how life changes. I went back to Amori last December for the New Yam Festival. It had been almost 3 years since the whole thing with Adaeze, and honestly, I wasn't ready for what I saw, because Obinna, the same boy people once called a witch, is now the king of Amori village. I'm serious, she was crowned Igwe Obinna the first after the old king Eze Ofo passed in his sleep. The king had no sons. The village elder said a strange message came during their sacred moon ceremony. The Ofo staff, the symbol of truth and justice, shook on his own, and when the elder priest asked the spirits for a sign, they all pointed to Obinna. At first, the elders argued, how can a boy people once feared become king? But things had changed. People remembered how he saved Chika, how he found Adaeze's bones, how the strange death stopped after Papa Nana disappeared, how he warned people about dangers before they happened. People said maybe the spirits chose him long ago and we were just too blind to see. He didn't even want the crown at first, but his grandmother said something deep. When truth walks with fear, it hides. But when truth sits on the throne, even fear bows. He agreed. So now Obinna lives in the royal palace. He has a wife, Nkechi, the daughter of the late Eze Ofo. Smart girl, kind, everyone loves her. They have 2 kids already, a boy named Chimele and a baby girl called Adaeze. Yes, named after that Adaeze. People still say strange things happen around the palace. Fresh flowers appear in rooms that were closed. A woman once said she saw her late husband smiling at the palace gate. The king's children sometimes laugh at invisible uncles, but no one's afraid anymore because everyone knows who their king is. Not just a ruler, not just a seer, a protector. They say Obinna still walks into the forest alone, still listens to the spirits, still speaks to them in that same deep Igbo no one understands. But now people greet him with respect. No one calls him Muo boy anymore. They call him Igwe Onye na Aho Muo, the king who sees ghosts. And as for me, I sat in the crowd during the festival and watched him dance with his people. Happy, full of life, drums beating, kids running around his feet. I looked at him and I smiled because sometimes the one everyone fears becomes the one everyone needs. And in the end, he lived fully with truth, power, and peace like a true king. The end. Please subscribe to this channel for more good African true life stories.